Imagine this. You start with nothing, just a notebook full of rhymes, a dream that feels impossible, and a world telling you it'll never happen. But you keep going, and years later, you're not just famous, you're worth more than entire record labels. Today, we're counting down the 20 richest rappers in hip-hop history. And trust me, the numbers, the drama, and the deals behind these fortunes will leave you speechless. And wait until you see which superstar fell from billionaire status almost overnight. Starting with number 20, Ludacris. Before the mansions, private jets, and fast, furious paychecks, Ludacris was Chris Bridges, a determined radio DJ in Atlanta, known on air as Chris Lova Lova. Working the boards gave him more than a paycheck. It gave him an insider's education on what made a hit. In 2000, he released Back for the first time, an explosive debut that went triple platinum and produced timeless hits like What's Your Fantasy and Southern Hospitality. His quick wit and rapid-fire delivery set him apart in an era dominated by heavyweights. But Ludacris wasn't content to just rap. Hollywood came calling, and as Tej Parker in the Fast Furious franchise, he became part of one of the highest-grossing film series ever, reportedly earning $1.2 million or more per film. And in true Luda fashion, he celebrated each installment by buying a car straight off the set.
Is it true that you buy a car off of the Fast and Furious set with every film?
Absolutely, until we...
Off-screen, he launched Disturbing the Peace Records, signing successful artists like Chingy, and expanded into business with Conjure Cognac. Through the Ludacris Foundation, he's also invested in education and community programs, proving his reach goes beyond entertainment. Today, his $1,040 million net worth stands as proof that adaptability and smart branding can outlast chart dominance. And that's just the lowest number on our list. From here, the money skyrockets. Number 19. Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Pete's rise wasn't handed to her, she built it brick by brick. From uploading freestyles in Houston parking lots to headlining arenas, she made sure every step was on her terms. One of her smartest moves? Owning her masters. While many artists sign away their rights early, Megan secured a distribution deal with Warner Music that lets her keep full control of her recordings. That means long-term royalty streams, the kind most artists spend decades trying to negotiate back. Her business mind extends beyond music. She signed a lucrative Popeyes partnership, not just endorsing the brand but buying into the franchise. Her hottie sauce became a viral sellout, proving she could move product as easily as she moves tickets. Beauty deals with Revlon and Coach tapped into her fashion influence, while acting roles in projects like She-Hulk and Good Girls opened another revenue stream. In 2024, she dropped her first solo #1 hit, a global smash that reaffirmed her dominance. With her fan base, the hotties, as loyal as they come, Megan's $40 million net worth feels more like a foundation than a finish line. But while Megan's still building, our next entry has been stacking for over a decade, quietly. Number 18. J. Cole. Some rappers measure success in diamond chains. J. Cole measures it in independence. From his early Rock Nation, signing to becoming one of the few artists with 6 platinum albums and no features, Cole has crafted a career built on consistency. His Dreamville Records isn't just a label, it's a brand, with a roster including Earth Gang, JID, and Ari Lennox. The annual Dreamville Festival in North Carolina draws tens of thousands, adding millions in revenue while boosting his city's economy. Endorsement deals are rare for Cole, but when he chooses one, it matters, like his Puma sneaker line, which sold out in hours. Then there's his short-lived but headline-making stint playing professional basketball in Rwanda's Basketball Africa League, proving he wasn't just talking about hoop dreams on the warm-up. Cole's modest public image hoodies, basketball shorts, biking around New York hides a fortune built with precision. At $60 million, he's living proof that you can run a hip-hop empire without flaunting it. Still, $60 million looks small compared to the storm our next artist built and cashed in on. Number 17 is Travis Scott. Travis Scott didn't just release an album with Astroworld, he created an entire cultural moment. The project fueled a sold-out world tour, festival merch drops, and a wave of brand partnerships that blurred the line between music and marketing. His Nike Jordan deal, rumored to be worth $1,010 million annually, turned his sneaker releases into instant sellouts, sometimes flipping for thousands on resale sites. His 2020 McDonald's collaboration brought in an estimated $1,020 million between merch and meal sales. Then there was the Fortnite virtual concert, viewed by over 12 million people live, pulling in another 1,020 million. His 2023 Circus Maximus tour grossed over 200 million, cementing his position as a touring powerhouse. Yes, the 2021 Astroworld tragedy cast a shadow over his career, with lawsuits and public scrutiny, but financially, his empire hasn't collapsed. He's expanded into Cactus Jack gaming and beverage ventures, keeping revenue streams flowing from multiple directions. At 80 million, Travis has the infrastructure to scale into billionaire territory if he can navigate the controversies. And yet, the guy you're about to hear about doesn't even need hype, he just quietly prints money. Number 16. Post Malone. Post Malone might look like your laid-back party neighbor, but behind the tattoos and beer pong persona is a marketing mastermind. With over 65 billion streams, he's one of the most played artists in the world, which means millions in streaming royalties every year. His tours are equally dominant, regularly selling out arenas and stadiums worldwide. Brand partnerships have been another goldmine. His long-running Bud Light deal turned into a full merch collaboration, and his Maison No. 9 wine label became a hit with both critics and consumers, selling out its first 50,000 bottles within 48 hours. He's also invested in Envy Gaming, giving him a foothold in the fast-growing esports industry. And then there's the 2 million Black Lotus Magic, the gathering card of flex that's part hobby, part asset. Given its rising collector value, Post's 90 million net worth reflects not just his success, but his ability to monetize every side of his persona: the rock star, the gamer, the wine connoisseur. Speaking of spending, our next artist has never been shy about showing her fortune or her rise to the top. Number 15. Cardi B. Cardi B's story is the American hustle, unfiltered. From working at a deli and stripping in New York to escape an abusive relationship, she flipped hardship into opportunity. Love hip-hop. New York made her a personality fans couldn't ignore, and in 2017, Bodak Yellow made her a rap superstar. Her music catalog, valued at 1,080 million, is just one pillar of her wealth. Her Fashion Nova deal became one of the most profitable influencer brand partnerships ever. She's fronted campaigns for Pepsi, Amazon Alexa, and Balenciaga, each adding millions to her portfolio. Acting roles in Hustlers and Fast, Furious 9 proved she could cross into film, while her Reebok sneaker collaborations sold out instantly. And she's not afraid to diversify, from launching vodka-infused whipped cream to investing in real estate. Her 2024 album, Am I the Drama?, is poised to push her into even higher earning territory. At 1,101.6 million, Cardi's already made history, and with her unshakable brand power, she's coming for the top spot. And that's exactly where we're going next, to the woman who's still holding the crown. It's number 14. Nicki Minaj, 1,150 million. Nicki Minaj didn't just break into a male-dominated rap game, she bulldozed her way in and rewrote the rules. From Pink Friday's 2010 domination to her record-breaking string of features, Nicki built over a decade of chart power. She's the only female rapper with more than 130 Billboard Hot 100 entries, and her tours, like the Pinkprint Tour, have grossed tens of millions worldwide. Business-wise, she's just as sharp. Endorsements with MAC Cosmetics, Pepsi, and Fendi brought in major paydays, while her multi-fragrance empire moved millions of bottles globally. Known for securing back-end percentages on collaborations she earns long after the initial check clears, a rare, lucrative move in hip-hop. With 1,150 million to her name, she still holds the crown as the richest female rapper alive. But with Cardi B's rapid climb and Megan Thee Stallion's business acumen, the competition is closing in, and Nicki knows it. And if you think 1,150 million is untouchable, wait until you hear how the next rapper turned his label into a mint. Number 13. Lil Wayne. When Lil Wayne rapped, "I'm a millionaire, I'm a young money millionaire," he wasn't bragging, he was foreshadowing. With over 200 million records sold and more Billboard Hot 100 appearances than Elvis Presley, his career earnings are the stuff of legend. But Wayne's biggest financial move came in 2020, when he sold Young Money's masters, including Drake and Nicki Minaj's early catalogs, for a reported 100 million. His touring record is equally impressive, with multiple world tours grossing tens of millions. Endorsements from Bumbu Rum to Samsung kept checks coming in, and his GKUA cannabis brand taps into the booming marijuana industry. Of course, the road hasn't been smooth. Legal battles, IRS disputes, and gun charges have cost him millions. Yet, even after the setbacks, Wayne's net worth sits at $170 million, a testament to how deep his catalog and business empire run. And Wayne's not the only legend who turned industry disputes into generational wealth. Which brings us to number 12, Ice Cube. Ice Cube's empire started with a walkout. In 1989, he left NWA over a royalty dispute, betting on himself and winning big. His solo career produced platinum albums like The Predator and Lethal Injection, but Cube's ambitions didn't stop at music. He became a Hollywood powerhouse, writing and starring in the Friday trilogy, Barbershop, and Are We There Yet? Films that collectively grossed hundreds of millions. His production company, Cube Vision, keeps his creative pipeline running, while his Big Three basketball league, co-founded in 2017, has attracted major investors and former NBA stars. With $1,160 million to his name, Cube is a prime example of diversifying early and betting on longevity. And if the Big Three secures a major streaming or broadcasting deal, his fortune could spike even higher, cementing him as not just a hip-hop legend, but a sports mogul. But if Cube is the king of diversifying, our next rapper is the king of reinvention. At number 11, we have Snoop Dogg. From Doggy Style to Olympic commentary, Snoop Dogg has mastered the art of staying relevant. He's sold over 35 million albums, appeared in more than 40 films, and turned viral moments like cooking with Martha Stewart into long-term brand power. In 2022, he bought the Death Row Records brand, reclaiming a piece of hip-hop history he once feared. His Casa Verde capital investment firm manages over $300 million in cannabis-related ventures, and his role as an NBC Olympics correspondent reportedly paid $1,500 a day during the Tokyo Games. Snoop has also cashed in on endorsement deals with Adidas, Corona, and Bic lighters, proving his name alone moves product. At $1,160 million, he's not just a rapper, he's a global cultural icon with income streams in music, media, food, and cannabis. And yet, the smoothest talker in the game isn't the only one who's flipped music into a Vegas-sized payday. Number 10 is Usher. Usher Raymond isn't just an R&B superstar, he's a business empire in motion. With Confessions selling over 20 million copies worldwide, he holds one of the best-selling albums of all time. But music is only part of the story. He co-founded RBMG Records, the label that discovered and launched Justin Bieber, a move that continues to pay off with streaming royalties. He's invested in Tidal, partnered with luxury brands like Remy Martin, and owns stakes in multiple businesses. His Las Vegas residencies are box office gold, pulling in millions each week, while his 2024 Super Bowl halftime performance boosted ticket sales and streaming numbers across his entire catalog. At $1,180 million, Usher's fortune reflects a balance of artistry, smart investments, and live performance dominance. But if Usher is a master of performance, our next mogul mastered the independent hustle. At number 9, we have Master P. Percy. Master P. Miller's rise from selling tapes out of his car in New Orleans to building a $200 million empire is hip-hop's ultimate independent grind. No Limit Records moved over 100 million albums without a major label, reshaping the industry's view of what independence could achieve. P wasn't just making music, he built an empire spanning food products, real estate, film, TV, and even professional sports management. He once famously turned down a 1 million record deal early in his career, choosing ownership over a quick payday, a decision that earned him tens of millions more. Today, Master P's name is synonymous with generational wealth and entrepreneurial hustle, inspiring artists to take control of their business. And speaking of breaking the mold, our next entry rewrote the blueprint for a rap comeback. Number 8 is Eminem. Marshall Mathers transformed raw pain into global success, becoming the best-selling rapper in history with over 220 million albums sold. His storytelling and technical mastery still generate millions annually from his massive catalog. But music is just the start. Eminem co-founded Shady Records, which launched 50 Cent and other platinum acts. He's also ventured into hospitality with his mom's spaghetti restaurant in Detroit, a nod to his iconic Lose Yourself lyric. From sold-out tours to licensing deals, Eminem's influence remains unmatched, even as he keeps a low public profile. At $1,250 million, his fortune proves that lyrical skill can translate into generational wealth. But while Eminem built his fortune through the mic, our next mogul built his through style, and even without being a rapper, his bank account still demands a spot on this list. Number 7 is Pharrell Williams. Pharrell Williams is living proof that style and sound can be equally profitable. As half of the Neptunes, he helped shape early 2000s pop and hip-hop, producing hits for Jay-Z, Britney Spears, and Justin Timberlake. Then came his own smashes like Happy, which topped charts in over 20 countries. Outside music, Pharrell built the Billionaire Boys Club clothing brand, collaborated with Adidas on record-selling sneaker drops, and in 2023, became Louis Vuitton's menswear creative director, a position once held by Virgil Abloh. At $1,250 million, Pharrell's empire spans music, fashion, and design, cementing him as one of entertainment's most versatile moguls. And yet, even Pharrell's moves can't match the consistency and sheer volume of our next artist's earnings. Number 6. Drake. Drake is a streaming juggernaut with over 75 billion Spotify streams, more than any other artist. His string of chart-topping albums and singles has made him one of the most bankable names in music. The OVO brand extends his reach into clothing, media, and nightlife, while partnerships like Nike's Noctiline and Virginia Black Whiskey have brought in millions. His It's All a Blur tour grossed $213 million in 2023 alone, and investments like Stake.com show his business game is as strong as his chart presence. With $250 million to his name, Drake proves that relentless output and calculated branding can keep you on top year after year. But before Drake was cashing those checks, the man who built hip-hop's first mega brand was already stacking. He also proved that you don't have to rap a single bar to out-earn half the game. Number 5. Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons didn't just participate in hip-hop's golden era, he built the infrastructure. As co-founder of Def Jam, he launched acts like LL Cool J, Run DMC, and Public Enemy, defining the sound of a generation. His business moves went far beyond music. He created Def Comedy Jam and Def Poetry, sold his Fat Farm clothing brand for $1,140 million, and invested in everything from financial services to yoga ventures. Despite serious allegations forcing him to relocate overseas, Simmons' past deals continue to generate millions each year. At $1,340 million, his influence and financial legacy remain cemented in music history. We reach number 4, Kanye West. At his peak, Kanye West wasn't just a chart-topping rapper, he was a cultural and business juggernaut. His Yeezy sneaker line with Adidas was pulling in an estimated $2 billion in annual revenue, cementing him as one of the wealthiest entertainers alive with a net worth over $2 billion. But in 2022, a very public and controversial fallout with Adidas caused one of the fastest financial drops in celebrity history. Within weeks, Forbes recalculated his worth at $1,350 million, a staggering loss that would have crushed most people. Yet, Ye is far from broke. His extensive music catalog still generates millions each year, thanks to timeless hits and production credits stretching back 2 decades. He owns a massive Wyoming ranch, which has become both a creative retreat and a valuable asset. His stem player, a tech gadget allowing fans to remix tracks, showed he's still innovating in music distribution. But Kanye's finances have always mirrored his public life: unpredictable, high risk, and headline grabbing. He's a man who can rise to billionaire status and lose it just as quickly, only to find another lane to build it back. But our next entry, he didn't just touch $1 billion, he sold part of it to Apple. At number 3 is Dr. Dre. Few artists have transitioned from the streets to corporate boardrooms as flawlessly as Dr. Dre. After rewriting West Coast rap history with NWA, Dre founded Aftermath Entertainment, signing future legends like Eminem, 50 Cent, and Kendrick Lamar. His production genius made him a hip-hop architect, but it was his entrepreneurial vision that made him a fortune. In 2014, Dre and Jimmy Iovine sold Beats Electronics to Apple for a staggering $3 billion, the largest acquisition in Apple's history at the time. Dre reportedly pocketed $1,750 million from the deal, instantly solidifying his place among music's wealthiest. Since then, Dre has invested in prime real estate, selling his Malibu home for $20 million and buying an LA mansion from Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen for $1,040 million. He's also earned millions through catalog sales and select production projects. Today, Dre's estimated $1,500 million fortune reflects not just talent, but decades of strategic moves that turned a producer into a power player. But Dre's wealth is still a fraction of what our next mogul built before it all came crashing down. Now we have number 2, Diddy. For decades, Sean Diddy Combs was the face of hip-hop wealth. From Bad Boy Records, which launched the notorious B.I.G., to the Sean John clothing line and a game-changing deal with Ciroc Vodka, his empire was a masterclass in branding. At his peak, Diddy's fortune was closing in on $1,001 billion, and his influence was untouchable. But 2024 marked a sharp turning point. Multiple lawsuits and damaging allegations triggered a tidal wave of corporate fallout. Brands severed ties, TV appearances were pulled, assets were reportedly frozen, and his public image suffered one of the most dramatic falls in modern entertainment. Within months, Forbes estimated his net worth had dropped to $1,400 million. Still, Diddy retains ownership stakes in his core ventures, meaning a comeback isn't impossible. But rebuilding brand trust is harder than making money, and that's the challenge he faces now. And yet, there's one man Diddy could never touch when it comes to wealth and legacy. Number 1 is Jay-Z. Sean "Jay-Z" Carter isn't just hip-hop's first billionaire, he's the blueprint for generational wealth in the music industry. With 13 platinum albums and an unmatched run of business wins, he's turned rap into a multi-billion-dollar portfolio. Roc Nation, his entertainment company, manages artists, athletes, and major events. His liquor ventures Armand de Brignac Champagne and Douce Cognac have brought in hundreds of millions, especially after selling stakes to LVMH and Bacardi. Jay also holds art collections worth tens of millions, prime real estate in Manhattan and the Hamptons, and early tech investments, including a lucrative stake in Uber. Every move is calculated, every partnership carefully vetted. At $2.5 billion, Jay-Z stands in a league of his own not just as an artist, but as a mogul whose influence reaches far beyond music. So, from $1,040 million hustlers to billion-dollar moguls, one thing's clear in hip-hop: money isn't just made in the studio. It's made in boardrooms, brand deals, and bold moves. But with the next generation coming up fast, who's gonna shake up this list in the next 5 years? My bet might surprise you.